What's going on, everybody? I am certainly trying to look how to bring up the chat. I'm certainly trying to learn. Trying to learn. Shit, I've been doing this long enough. You'd think I would have learned by now. Trying to see where to bring up the chat. Maybe it's that button? Nope, probably not that button. Hmm. Hey, Kevin, I see your message, but I certainly don't know. I guess I'm doing a live, Catherine. You can come say hi if you want. How you guys doing today? Okay, I see a few of you guys are in here now. Um, I can see the questions, I think now. So Kevin, I just said like Christmas all over again. It certainly stressful like Christmas at times, that's for sure. So I got some packages in today and I haven't went live in a while and some people were giving me some crap that I don't do lives anymore. So I'm certainly going to try to start pleasing everybody. So as you can see right here, we got a new set. I don't know why my phone says orientation is locked, rotate device back. Why would I want to do that? Oh, am I supposed to? There we go. No, it still says it's locked, but that's fine. The phone don't know what it's doing. Anyway, well, it's easier for me to see what's going on at least. Dane's in the house, Kevin's in the house. All right, guys. So hopefully everybody had a good chuckle with me not having any idea what I was doing. So, but what I do know what I'm doing, or at least I know what I'm looking at. So this is a new pair of the SL110 Noesis from JTR. These will be being used as the rear surrounds in the new RTJ setup downstairs. Be perfect match for the in walls that we used as in ceilings. They don't really recommend using them in ceiling just probably because it's some kind of hazard. I did Lawbreaker. So anyway, these will be a perfect match. I was just gonna unbox them live. We can talk about them. I had a lot of people asking questions about the new theater build and stuff like that too. So I figured this just a good chance for all of us to hang out. It was a last minute thing. I didn't give people much of a notice. Um, Mainly because I didn't think that these were showing up until tomorrow, but they surprised me and showed up today. So if you guys are in the house, see, we got 28 people that just hopped on with us. So certainly thanks, to you guys taking a few minutes out of your day to come hang out with us over here at Base Brings Us Together. And by us, I mean me, because Kat isn't joining me today. But got my trusty knife here. And as you can see, it's upside down, but Noesis 110 HTSL. These are 10-inch two-way coaxial speakers, and I will cut them open ever so gently. And these will be a good match for any of the Noesis line or what we're doing with the RTJ showroom downstairs. And these are $14.99 each. And they're beasts for surround speakers or Atmos speakers for sure. 750 watt RMS, 8 ohm. If you ever gotten anything from JTR before, it's usually packed like a tank. We drop off a building and usually they're fine. This looks like no exception here. And that's probably a good 2-inch thick foam on the top and all the way around. And then I'm sure there's another piece on the bottom. So, I mean, these can take quite a super high density foam. Another cool thing about all the JTR and RTJ, well, RTJ, or I'm sorry, JTR stuff is all magnetic grills. So all magnetic, snap right into place. Super convenient, stylish. These speakers are 95 dB sensitives. They can easily be ran off of a receiver, and they have high power handling, 750 watt RMS. So if you want to get super crazy, which we plan to do downstairs, you can hook a power amp up to them. They have a kind of like an odd shape to them, so they can be mounted on a back wall. And maybe they're vacuum sealed in this package too. We'll make this simpler. There we go. One big thing about anything that you order for JTR, because they have those horns down the middle of the drivers or on the tower speakers. You know, a nice little surround or Atmos speaker, huh, guys? I mean, I have huge hands. These things are pretty insane, as they all have these plugs. If you don't remove these plugs, they're going to sound horrible because all the high frequencies are behind them. Yeah, like I said, packaging in the bottom. We'll take up the 4-gauge wire, cut the keyholes on the back, and then when you mount them on the wall, they'll mount flat like that, but then they're slanted towards the seats, or however you mount them, so you can get them angled towards your seating location. So these weigh about, I think these are 33 or 35 pounds. Check up on the chat. Yeah, dude, no doubt. The JTR packaging, I've over, the last 8 years, I've received like 40 packages because I'm always changing or doing something. Yeah, I've never had one. I've been lucky enough, I've never had one speaker damaged, just because they go above and beyond with all that foam, probably, to keep complaints of damaged products low. Fable Man 708, hey man, thanks for stopping by. So these are two-way speaker, 10-inch driver with the horn down the middle. I don't know if I'll be able to, might be able to show that. I wish I had a front facing camera so I could see too, but you can see down in the middle. Let me see. You can, but it's down there. Trust me. So these will be going on the back wall in the new theater build, and it'll be a perfect match for the 110 in walls that I'm using as in ceilings, and it'll be good match for all the RTJ speakers we're doing as well. They're 32 pounds, all Baltic birch box, all quality. In other videos, you've seen the crossovers built for these. Literally, they're the size of your, you know, like you hold them in both hands. They're huge crossovers, all hand built, all Baltic birch box, point source speaker. So all the two drivers are time aligned with each other. So they're 14 inches high by 14 inches wide and 9 inches deep. And you see how they go up at that angle. I'll move it so you can see a little bit better. But it's a cool design, especially for like how we're doing it in a theater where I need them to hug the wall but still point down at the seats. I got some more questions on here, guys. Certainly going to try to make it. Can't wait for the event. That new projector is insane. Audio Cue Beats. Man, the new projector just wow. Just I couldn't wait any longer. I had to hang it. I had to see what it looked like. I seen it at Michael Stevens' house like a month or two ago in action. He had one in for review, and I've never seen a projector, at least under 100 grand, that was that bright and the HDR popped on screen. So I got it hung up, just shooting up against a black plywood, and we got two base layers of black paint and two layers of black Duritex on that wall. And for that thing to be shooting a bright image like it was, absolutely blew me away. I gotta be patient though. Can't put the Seymour screen together because there's no room to put it together right now because the room's still under construction. That'll be one of the last things we do. So I don't know, certainly pumped up about it. But I can't, yeah, do that projector is a monster, that's for sure. Always in love unboxings. Man, I do too. I need to do more of them. I'll do some unboxings when we start getting the 24s and stuff in because that's going to be insane. They'll probably be monsters to move around. Family man, hey, thanks for stopping by, saying hi. Certainly appreciate that. Appreciate everybody taking time out of their day to hang out with me for a few minutes. Can't wait for the event that. Oh, I'm sorry, I already did that one. Shinedown. Sorry if I missed at the beginning what speakers we'll be using in the new room for left, center, right. I will be using the new RTJ model speakers. Still under an NDA for that. I'll have some clearance here shortly to start discussing exactly what that's going to be. Um, I'm hyped though. It's gonna be a new wave of how we're gonna do things, and it's not gonna be the typical what you're used to. That's really all I can say. I gotta watch what I say, but yeah, I'm pumped up, man, to be sharing it. Hopefully, here in the next couple of weeks, dude. Man, 57 days, 80 people are gonna be in this house. I still can't get those numbers out of my head. But here, hopefully, over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll be able to really dive into that and I'll have them in hand and I'll be able to start talking about what's going on with those. But it should certainly be a lot of fun. The new projector screen in the room is going to be the Seymour Excellence screen. It's 140 inches wide and 163 inches diagonal, 16 by 9. So for the theater, it'll be a floor to ceiling and wall to wall screen. Behind that screen will be 12 24-inch subwoofers and then the left, center, and right as well. So, yes, I've been getting a lot of questions about the 24-inch subs. Be releasing a lot of more information of those as we go along too. A lot of stuff's going to start dropping here over the next couple of weeks as we get close to the event and things are getting shipped and things are getting set up and calibrated. I had people asking about what I'm going to do about calibration. I will do custom calibration myself through multiple mini DSP HTXs. I'll be able to control all 24-inch subwoofers individually, and it's going to be quite the task. But I can't wait to start diving into it. We're expecting, you know, solid 4 or 5 hertz room extension. Before significant drop off. And according to all our calculations, we're certainly going to be able to maintain that mid 150 dB performance, maybe at a couple frequencies, even start, pushing. It's even weird to say out loud, but maybe even pushing close to 160 dB at some certain frequencies. So that would be insane, and I would love that, but I don't have my hopes up too much. We're just going to all systems are this like in this room where you see the smaller Kalos tower and sub, all this stuff will be moving out of here for the other new line of RTJ speakers that's going in this room for a 2 channel setup. So just a lot, literally, if I have any free time, we're working in the room, we're messing around with something that has to do with this. Working on getting a videographer out now. Epson is going to be flying out their own video crew team. They're a big fan of the event and they want to come hang out with us and also film some of their own content. So certainly that's going to be kind of cool to have Epson in the house with their own videographer team. Um, STV Reed, thanks for stopping by, man. He said, I have that 110 SLs that surround, they sound great. Yeah, I've had multiple pairs of HT 110s and I've been using the HT 110 in walls as in ceilings for quite some time. Never an issue. They work. The dispersion pattern on them is fantastic. For surrounds, for Atmos, they really do sound awesome. Yes, that's a speaker, Roman. That is SL for slanted 110 2-way speaker from JTR. Will the room dimensions be the same with the renovations? Yes, I get asked that question quite often as well too. They will be the same for quite a few reasons. I want to maximize my SPL capabilities, but I still wanted to run I basically what I wanted to do was build a high octane, high impact version of an iMax. So, obviously the room isn't the size and, it isn't a multi-million dollar bill, but what I meant like that was having the extreme immersion, we're going to be around 60 to 65-degree viewing angle, which is very immersive like an IMAX theater. The over the top sound, which, we're going to be running 17 amplifiers in this setup with high output, high capability speakers, 24-inch subwoofers, to just have that insane IMAX feel when you're watching, just to be completely overwhelmed. That was the kind of route I was going with this. Just that's what I enjoy personally, and we built our community kind of around that same thing. So, um, yeah. So the room dimensions are staying the same. Four seats, just moved up to a larger screen, larger subwoofers, and strengthen the room to be able to support, because we lost a lot of wood and drywall and did a lot of damage to the room before because I wasn't really set up like we are now. So with multiple layers of plywood and drywall and green glue everywhere and using the tongue and groove plywood to even tighten it up more so everything kind of interlocks with each other. That was the strength building was what that was all about. So um, I had Chad calibrate my system. Highly recommend. Yeah, I've heard nothing but good things about Chad. He could probably do a better calibration than I'm able to do, but it's kind of my thing. I just like to do my own room setup and do my own treatments. I go through GIK, but I like to place them how I like. I like to do all my own measurements. So when people come and enjoy the space, I just take some pride in people enjoying themselves and my tune or my calibration. Not saying that professional couldn't do it better than me. I just that's part of the hobby that I enjoy is help creating the experience that people come over here to check out. Symphonics Audio, he's present. Oh, I thought you meant you brought me presents. But that's cool. I'm glad you're here too, man. That it's a present in itself, for sure. Um, That's some more. Let me see what else we got up here. So yeah, the projector is the Epson QL7000. Um, it's right about 10,000 lumens. Think they test out just over 10,000 lumens out of the box, uh, which is going to be insane for my room. Completely light controlled. I People were asking me about the spec on the lens. I don't have that information handy on me. It's somewhere around the mess of a house because literally so many rooms in this house are got something going on with it. Um, but the lens. So when you get the Epson projector, you get the body only, and then you have to get the lens separately. And what's kind of cool about that is even though that would be an additional cost, is I'm able to lens from the front of the lens to the screen is going to be roughly about 9.5 feet. Well, I'm able to shoot 100. I think you can shoot up to like a 200-inch screen with a certain kind of lens. So you pretty much say, hey, these are going to be my room layout. This is the size screen I want to go with, and they have multiple lens choices for you to go with. So that wasn't anything really I was getting offered by any other projector. And I've never experienced a projector that had such insane output capability for like high impact HDR. So I'm getting away from the inky blacks from the JVC that I've been using, for the last two iterations that I absolutely love. I got nothing bad to say about JVC at all. Certainly enjoyed it. Beautiful picture. Obviously, the black levels are amazing. To just kind of go over with the other side of the coin of having unlimited light output capabilities, the insane pop and wow from good HDR content. So it's just enjoying something different for a different reason within the hobby. So um, no, I cannot wait. I got. You probably hear the excitement in my voice because I'm at kind of lost for words of what it's capable. Um, I think I'll be too early in April for the system. Yeah, yeah, um, yeah. So the speakers and the subs and the two-channel setup is all going to be in house probably the first second week of April. I'll take a week to set everything, get everything set up in all the systems, and then I'll literally be calibrating up until the event because to make a perfect calibration starting from scratch with all new speakers, subwoofers, with the room layout being different of, putting all the plywood in and doing different treatments. Um, yeah, April, yeah, our cable system will be done. That's it. But yeah, the big systems will be under full construction in April for sure. But, that would have been cool because I know you're gonna be at Expona, man, and that would have been awesome for us to hang out. But yeah, that we're literally gonna be, like, right in the middle of everything. I'm hoping that you can, make it out to one of our events, Joseph. You'd probably end up knowing a lot of the people here, just from, you hanging around all the groups and forums and stuff, and I'm sure everybody's, familiar with your channel, Siphonics Audio, as well too. So, I always am a big advocate of trying to get everybody together. Um What's the power situation going to be like? I thought I remembered you mentioning a separate 200 amp panel just for the room. Well, at this very moment, because I wasn't extremely happy with any of the estimates of bringing a whole nother 200 amp service into the house, extremely, extremely expensive. And in the scheme of all this, we're already in so deep, it's insane. So as of right now, I'll be feeding. So we have a 200 amp service to the house with another sub panel, but I'll be feeding about 150 amp into the room. That should be able to give us 90%, 95% of complete output capabilities. But I think to be able to get the system to play the way that I mean, at the most extreme output levels, especially if we're going to do, trying to go for 150 plus dB, at like 5, 6, 7, 8 hertz and stuff like that, we may run into a power issue just like we did with all the 18s because we, you know, could blow a 200 amp breaker before, and now we're doing even more power. So I was talking to one company that's saying it is possible that we might be able to switch out safely, have a licensed electrician come in and change our 200 amp box out to a 300 amp service because we do have enough power coming into the house. So that might be a cheaper option for us because a whole new another 200 amp service we're getting quoted just for the service, and that's with me doing all the electrical work, was like $25,000 for a new drop. And that was more feasible on the older setup, but now since we're redoing all this and investing so much in all this other stuff, we just don't feel comfortable with what we were already into plus another 25,000. Especially I need to get the systems up and running, showcasing, get my events going back on, getting the community all fired back up, getting everybody back in house. And also now, since we're a dealer for everything, is that if people are coming over here for enthusiasts just to hang out, or if people are coming in to demo to buy, to just kind of get the wheels moving on anything before we take on another huge expensive endeavor. So, um, like most of our projects, it's just a work in motion and kind of pay as we go, pay as we play, trying to absolutely enjoy ourselves, but making it make sense as well too. In my mind, I think a 300 amp service is what we're going to need. Possibly, maybe moving up to the 400 amp service. I'm not absolutely sure, but we'll have enough power to definitely have a lot of fun. That's for sure. Confident with the power that we're going to have available, still be able to easily play into the 150s, and that'll be cool for everybody coming over to check out. Um, I kind of went on a little rant there, but hopefully I answered most of that. And as things change, I'll try to make videos and updates. So always certainly trying to share it with everybody, get all caught up in all this stuff, and sometimes I forget. Will the new RTJ 24s have sealed and ported options, or just sealed? They will just be sealed. A ported variant of that is going to be absolutely insane, large size. No, it'll just be a sealed option. It'll be sold as a single 24 with a 4,000 watt rack mount amp, or the more common, and the way that I'll certainly try to present it, will be two 24s, which will be two sealed single units with a rack mount 8,000 watt amp where each sub sees 4,000 watts. Obviously it's not cheap either way you go, but it is more economical way doing it with the two subs and two chain lamp. and that's the same amplifier, that my buddy Steve Mead put on the dyno, and that amp, during like burps and bumps of music without even blowing his circuits. He was able to pull 5,000 watts per channel from that amplifier. If you just want to shoot a straight sine wave through it, yes, it's going to blow 20 amp breaker. But I mean, we don't sit around and use our equipment just listening. It says sine waves all the time. So, in actual real movie and music world, the amp will be able to push a good 4,000 watts to each subwoofer confidently. So, how I'm gonna do my room when I get more time after the event, especially because we've always had quite a few people coming in wanting a demo to purchase for like their own personal systems. I'll do the setup in a few different ways through the DSPs. I'll have presets saved. Is one will be my everyday preset, what I enjoy to watch demos or movies. Then there'll be one mode that'll be pretty much set on kill, which would be pretty much everything the system has, minus say like 5% for like a safety, so I'm not blowing drivers or amps or anything. And then there'll be another set that'll just be the whole system playing with one pair of 24s so that people could experience, just a pair of 24s. Because obviously, what we're doing with the 24s isn't very realistic for most people, and I wouldn't expect it to be. But that's just kind of the way that I enjoy myself and have fun. But I still want to be able to show people what just a pair of them would sound like in a system. So I'll get that all custom set up so it'll just be push of the button as you can toggle between the presets of what you kind of want to show off. So Joseph, I will definitely keep future events in mind to visit if it's possible around Exponent. It would be nice to meet up for a short moment at least. Hey man, I'm always down for meeting up or hanging out. We will see exactly what's going on at Expona. Are you tied down to that event by any chance? I know you were looking for to be making content or possibly, doing pictures or videos for company. You have to share your itinerary with me and see if we can get something to match up. Maybe we could grab lunch or just hang out for a little bit or something during that time. But all right. Sorry guys, some of these posts get by me as I'm because I so once I get to talking, man, I just can't stop talking. So for the new people, that is a SL HT 110. That's going to be for the rear surround in the new RTJ build downstairs. So we're not downstairs right now. Obviously, we're upstairs, but if you can, I'll do a terrible iteration with my finger. So basically, the new system, let's say this is the left channel of the downstairs. At the bottom here, there'll be a 24-inch subwoofer. In the middle, there will be a RTJ module loudspeaker. And then at the top at the ceiling will be another 24-inch subwoofer. So on the left channel, there'll be 24-inch sub, middle module, 24-inch sub. Right next to that will be three 24-inch subs stacked floor to ceiling. These stacks will be the same height, and it'll literally be floor to ceiling. Next to that stack of subwoofers will be a 24-inch subwoofer, the center channel module from RTJ, another 24-inch sub at the top. Next to that will be another stack of three 24-inch subwoofers floor to ceiling. And then at the very right will be a 24-inch sub, the right channel RTJ module, and then another 24-inch sub at top. Then on the right and the left surround channels on the sides of the room, it'll be a 24-inch sub, the right surround module, 24-inch sub, and then the exact same on the left. Unfortunately, in the back of the room, I can't run the back surrounds like that, or I would. So it'll be a pair of the SL110 JTRs mounted on the wall facing down at the seats for the back surrounds. And then for the Atmos is going to be four, which are already, if you've seen the other videos or you've been here for an event, I've been using them for a while now. But they're basically the same exact speaker as this, but they're built to be in wall. I'm going against the rules and using them as in ceiling for Atmos. And then, so the left, center, right side surrounds should see right about 2,000 watts apiece. These and in ceiling Atmos will probably be seeing about 600 or 800 watts apiece. Haven't made up my mind exactly yet. So, and then each subwoofer will be 4,000 watts each sub. So it'll be 4,000 by 24 for the subs. Left, center, right, left surround, right surround, 2,000 watts each. Back surround and Atmos 600 or 800 watts each. I'm still going to be using the Anthem AVM 70 preamp because I didn't see any need of changing it. I love the way that sounds. A lot of people are asking why I didn't go Storm or Trinov or the AVM 90. I mean, honestly, I've always been blown away by the sound quality of the AVM 70. I don't mind spending some money if I think there'd be a huge difference. Not saying that other options wouldn't be better, but I didn't see a need of changing it. And I'll just be honest with you, at some point you just have to stop spending money. So of course it's fun building out the systems and getting everything going, but at the end of the day too is 99% of us there is a budget. So, it just is what it is. Um All right. Yeah, just reach out to me and then shoot me over your itinerary when you get a chance and we'll get something figured out. Man, there's always a possibility somewhere. Rel is top of the line. Well, I mean, if you enjoy it, that's what the hobby's all about. I've auditioned quite a few of them. I've never been super impressed, but I'm not saying that they're bad. Just definitely didn't fit with what I was going for. Forget about you helping Steve out. He has ever discussed coming to you for a demo. Forgot about you helping Steve out. Um, I don't know what we're talking about here, Audio Cue Beats, but my mind might be mush because I've been working in the theater and it's full of paint. I've been breathing in paint fumes for the last few days too, so maybe I'm losing some brain cells. I so Shine Down, I understand why people get Train over Storm, but I don't think I'll ever will. I got buddies that have both, and they're awesome, powerful computer processors pretty much. And there's a lot of different really cool stuff you could do with it. And maybe one day, who knows? I'm always about playing with toys. It's just at this point in time, I don't think it would add a ton to what I'm doing. Um, but I also went with the multiple, HTX mini DSPs as a cheaper route than going with a huge multi-channel storm, which could have helped calibrate a lot of the subwoofers as well too. Oh, Steve meets okay. Yeah, Shinedown. Uh, so basically, I mean, I've had people in the room that have Storm or Trinov, and they've liked my setup more. I've been in other people's rooms that I could understand why they got them just because of the versatility. I think it all. You get into higher level anthems and great processors and that. I think there's a lot less of what they're capable of based on more. There's more of a difference in like room layout, room acoustics, calibration. I don't know if anybody would blindly be able to go into a perfectly calibrated room, say either from an Anthem or you know top of the line Marantz or trend off or that and be able to be like, oh yeah, that's definitely a trend off. I mean, maybe somebody has golden ears like that, but I think it just comes down to the calibration and room setup and room acoustics personally. And I'm not talking down anybody that has a trend of our storm. They're awesome pieces of equipment. Hopefully one day I get to play with them for sure. God, I went live last night. Incredible, Ken Massa. Oh, that's cool. I haven't been watching. I mean, I got a lot of friends in the YouTube and Facebook space. I don't get a ton of time to watch content, and this is the first live I've done in forever. I don't have. I try to make as much content as I can, but it it's crazy. I mean, with running a emergency based plumbing and sewer company out of Chicago for last help run that out for the last 25 years between Cat and the kids, and then just trying to build a theater and two-channel room and run, the Base Brings Us Together community and that. Don't run into a lot of free time like I used to. I'm hoping that after these builds are completely done, that I can get back to being. I get people, and I feel terrible, but I get people asking me to be like guests on their podcast or chat with them, and it. I just haven't had time, but I'm hoping to be more in the space once these rooms get built and I get past Base Brings Us Together 2026 because that's quite the task where all morning this morning, we're searching out food trucks, talking to people, reading reviews because every year, we get a food truck to feed 50, 60, 70, 80 people at the house for the event. And that's stressful in itself and it's expensive and you want everybody to have a good time and you want the food to be good. So It's just, man, it's every day, and I'm not complaining at all, so don't take it as complaining, just venting with you guys. But it's certainly there's a lot of so much that goes on behind the scenes to make these events happen, and it takes up a lot of my free time. Um, okay, so that makes sense. Audio Q Beats about Steve Mead. Yeah, so Steve, buddy of mine, Steve Mead, we were chatting for a while, and he was just looking for a more powerful amp to push his 33-inch subs. Got him hooked up with speaker power. He was blown away by it. So then, yeah, he threw it on the amp dyno to see its real numbers. And, speaker power has always been pretty transparent, with great frequency response, good down to like 5 hertz and always reaching their output capabilities. Um, so, we've been insanely busy, and Steve just got his new shop and he's insanely busy. We're certainly he's in California, I'm in Chicago, but we are certainly hoping to cross each other's paths to be able to hang out, and me to check out his systems and him to check out ours. That will happen in the future. How soon of a future? Not 100% sure. We chat every once in a while, and we get on the phone talking about life and about the hobby and shit like that. So um no, it's cool though. Hopefully, over the next year or two we actually get a chance to hang out. Ken, today you need to be more clear. I set up my system over the last 2 weeks and tried it for the first time last night. Oh, well, that's cool, Ken. Well, hey, that's did you enjoy yourself? Everything work out how you were hoping? um Yeah, I was confused by the last message that you sent. My bad. I'm also this. I don't understand, because I don't do many lives from my phone. It's usually from the laptop, and I it's easier for me to read the comments. A little bit harder on the phone. But it's cool, like 50, 60 people at one time stopped by here to hang out with us, man. I've been running my mouth for like 37 minutes. But this is why you guys came here, right? The unboxing of the SL110. I'm going to do another video and drop it as more of like an informational video for people to check out later on of the other one. Um, I'm certainly appreciate, man, everybody that's been. Oh man, Mr. Man, we celebrity in the house. Everybody, calm down. Mr. Youthman has joined the chat. So, man, I should have dressed better. Look at me. Thanks for stopping by, buddy. Hey, Michael, you got to book your ticket, brother, and we got to get the princess room set up for you too, man. Um, Those slants are amazing, make mounting and getting angles correct. Yeah, dude, no doubt. And this is actually, I've owned multiple JTR products throughout the years, and this is the first time that I bought the slants because it's really the first time I've needed them. But what's cool is, so the slant, the regular HT, the in wall, they're all basically the same speaker, but in just these different configurations. So what's funny is I always tell people that these are just tools. We're all working on our projects, and it's nice to have these toolboxes, these tools in our toolboxes to be able to work on our projects. And that's how I look at the speakers, as tools for my project. And this tool is going to fit perfectly for the back surround channel. So, celebrating your son's 27th birthday. Hey, man, that's awesome. Um, that just means we're getting older, brother. So, Kirsten just had her 25th birthday. But, hey, man, at least neither one of us have any gray hairs yet, right? Um, oh, Joseph felt the ground shake, probably from, youth man coming into town. I felt the throttle back of my internet service. Cat is over here lurking in the background too, over my shoulder. I can feel her presence because she probably wants to get by this area, and it's all roped off, by the camera crew of me. Sorry guys, I'm missing out on a lot of the chats. Which processor? I'll still be using the Avium 70. I'm actually waiting on the rack mount ear kit for those, because the red Atom rack that I got from Obsessed when they were having their Black Friday sale. I can't wait to get downstairs, but I can't move that downstairs till the new carpet comes on Tuesday. That'll be rack mounted in that amp rack as well. So I didn't find no need. Moving away from the Anthem AVM 70 would have just been another exponential cost. And like I explained, we're already so deep in all this. I got to get these systems all back up and running. And I've always loved the AVM 70. One day we might move up to the 90 or Storm or Trenov or something of that nature. It's just I don't think it's needed right at this moment. Um, Yeah, Michael, the 110H cells sounded great at your house. And one thing that we've always prided you on too, and I'm jealous of anybody that has 10 foot. Michael has like 10 foot ceilings. I've been in guys with like 12 and 14 foot ceilings, but these people with these, and I love my Atmos experience, no doubt. But the further you can get that Atmos speaker away from you, just the more realistic it is. Because if you hear like a bird off in the distance or a dinosaur, coming from far away, it actually sounds like it's from far away. So that was one of the big takes I got from Michael's setup was, dude, that's killer. His Atmos experience was amazing. Shinedown. I'm about 5 years from building my dedicated room, but currently I'm thinking the black 465s for my bed layer, seven 265s a mounts, four heights aimed towards MLP. Yeah, the Kalos have certainly been. I've had quite a few people in house, and I've shared some videos and people's thoughts, and Michael just said the same thing. And you can get that loud, clear, dynamic experience now in a lot smaller and better looking chassis, and that's why the Kalos was invented. But yeah, I'm 465s and 265s, man, are going to be insane. The clarity, the dynamic, the easy to hear. That's always been my biggest thing about Jeff's speakers is when people talk or they sing, it's very easy to hear what they're saying. I'm a big fan of clarity. So, oh, Ken just installed his new JTR system. Okay, now that's all starting to make a lot more sense. I don't know why I'm coughing so much, maybe because I'm running my mouth so much. Yeah, Michael, I agree with that. The AVM 70 is fantastic. People thought I was going to change it just because I was doing these room builds, but you're actually that's a AVM 70 right there, and that's the one that goes in the theater. I've been using that as the preamp for the two-channel setup because when I get the new RTJ speakers in this room, which should be a Carbon 18 RTJ middle speaker and then another Carbon 18 at the top for a two-channel, I'll be using a mini DSP with Dirac for the preamp for that. But right now for the Kalos towers and Kalos Sub 12, I've been using the Anthem AVM 70. Keep the 70 until Storm or Trinov approaches with the deal. Yeah, I I think another good thing about using the 70, I mean, not that it's cheap, not that any of this stuff is cheap, but people are here was my cough again. What the crap? So I think people enjoy hearing the 70 because it sounds really good, but it's got a much more affordable price tag than like a Storm or Trinov or Lingdorf or something like that. So I think that's kind of a cool dynamic that people like, wow, this sounded really good. What kind of preamp are you running? When I tell them, it's like a $4,000 preamp, they're like, wow, that's amazing because, I thought everything has to cost $20,000. And there are expensive stuff out there that could certainly be better in other aspects, but it's funny to say because I tell people that I'm still cheap, and that's true. Like a lot of the room downstairs, that's Kat and I doing a lot of the work ourselves, only having to hire out for stuff that I'm physically not capable to do, like the ceiling, because after that surgery, I was messed up, especially for overhead activities. But I don't mind spending money where it's warranted. I just didn't see you know I don't know. More approachable price point for sure. Yes, Michael. Obviously, we see a lot in this community, and even ourselves, we look at stuff and just the price has to make sense. And for me, where I'm at right now, just the Storm and the Trinov just don't make a lot of sense for me. Not saying it's not better. So, I believe the AVM 70 is around like 4 grand. I think something like that. When I got it, when they first came out, I want to say they were like 3,500 bucks. Um, I can't look on my phone to see what the price is because I'm using my phone on YouTube right now. So maybe it's 3,500 bucks. Maybe somebody in the chat will look it up for me quick because I don't know. I think it's 35 or 4 grand. Um, Ultimate Home Cinema, congratulations. Yeah, so 4 grand. Good job, Michael. See, that's why I got you on the payroll, man. Now I gotta Venmo you 25 cents for looking that up for me. Thanks. Congratulations. Hey, thanks, Ultima Home Cinema. We're just out here having a good time, man. Trying to have some fun. Onkyo guy, but the Avium 7090 or beast. Yeah, hey, and it's cool too to see Onkyo making a turn because for years, I mean, I was a big Onkyo and Integra guy, had the whole setup, and then, Grand Integra power amplifiers, and it's just it I was a huge Onkyo guy. Then they went through, that HDMI thing, and I went through 2 processors that had all those issues, and it really left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. But it's nice to see now that they're coming back around. It looks like they're going to be, that they're back to being a good reputable brand. I haven't had a chance to play with one in quite a few years, but I mean, I've been reading people's responses and listening to the people in the chat and in the groups talking about it. Always cool when celebrity replies to us. You got to be talking about Michael, man, because I'm the head janitor around here. Um, yeah, RZ30, Michael. I've heard plenty of people, talk about those, but it is nice because I had a lot of love for Onkyo back in the day, and then I think they really tarnished their reputation, but now they're picking back up. So that's only good for the community. So it gives us more options, different price points. So just want to see more people get into the game. That's for sure. I think I had a lot of questions about the processor, projector, subwoofers, just seeing if I'm missing anything, guys. I gotta go downstairs when this is over and start cutting some more holes into everything, which is always a lot of fun. Um, yes, if is anybody in the chat coming to the event? Oh, but can we trust them? Oh man, we got Piper Boy Williams in the house, but can you trust him? um, our our event that we hold at the house every year, Piper Boy Williams. So this will be Base Brings Us Together 2026, where people fly in sometimes from other countries, pretty much from all over the place. We host events all year long, but we do one big event every year. Base Brings Us Together, where bringing a lot of people from the community, get food truck out in front of the house, and it's an all day thing of enthusiasts hanging out with each other. But another really cool aspect of it as well is friends of mine that are popular in the YouTube space or the hi-fi or audio community, and also manufacturer owners or engineers come into. So like most years, so this year we'll have Michael Youthman in the house. He comes every year. Rusty will also be in the house. Mark Seaton from Seaton Sound will be in the house. Jeff Permanian from the owner and engineer of JTR Speakers will be in the house. Chris Seymour from Seymour Screens will be in the house. Epson will be in the house. Cat's laughing in the background about in the house. What are you laughing about? Yeah. Um, so it's an event we throw every year to just try to create a bunch of excitement around the hobby, get enthusiasts pumped up because not only is it cool, people want to come over and experience the systems that we've built, but beyond that, they get to meet people from these companies that are diehard enthusiasts and get to meet YouTube personalities that they've been following, and even more important than all of that is they get to hook up with fellow enthusiasts. There's been so many lifelong, well, we hope to be lifelong, but a lot of friendships made through the events that we host of people just being able to hang out with each other, share that passion for each other. I've been answering a lot of questions the last few days. People have asking what airports to fly and what hotels to stay at. Next year, we're actually I was talking to somebody that we might talk to a local hotel about maybe doing like a small block and getting a special rate for people that are coming out of town. I didn't even think about that for this year, but I should have. Um, hey Piper Boy Williams, hit me up. Um, we should be able to figure something out. We've been at capacity for quite some time. but depending on when you'd want to come and hang out with everybody, might be able to make something happen. I got a list of um, possibilities of people that might have to opt out real quick because they had like a wedding or a anniversary or something that they forgot. But if you're serious, hit me up. We'll figure something out. Um, Man, I missed a lot of comments now. Hold on, guys. I'm not the most tech savvy. I'm good at making base, but and the lettering's so damn small too. I got glasses on. Maybe I need a magnifying glass. Maybe that's why all the pictures I send the cat, everything looks super small. Always him. Oh, dang, where are we at? Man, you boys been busy in this chat. Oh, Michael, got to book your flight. Yes, sir, you do. I seen flights aren't very much right now. Like I said, we'll have the princess room ready to go for you with the mints on the pillow and the rose petals, everything you asked for, man. We are waiting to see if we can trust Snoopy. Yeah. That's awesome. Is there a special lens for the new projector to get the IMAX ceiling floor wall to wall coverage? Yeah. So basically, when I reach out to Epson about the idea of using the projector in our space, um, the projector is just the body. You give them kind of the measurements of like the throw distance, and then I don't know, they have four, five, six different lenses that you can choose from that'll maximize picture size. So my whole idea was I wanted to go with an IMAX style presentation, which is, like that 60 to 65-degree viewing angle. So that's what we'll be experiencing, which will be pretty much it's going to take up your whole field of vision. That's probably not something that you would want to do for back to back to back movies, but that isn't how we use the theater. We might watch like a blockbuster film here or there, or I run a bunch of demos. So it'll be high intensity picture to go with the high intensity audio. And that was the whole point of that. Not going to make it this year, but definitely hoping at some point in Pennsylvania. Man, dude, you're more Pennsylvania. That ain't bad, dude. I've made that drive plenty of times to pick up subwoofers and stuff. That's a good time, brother. You just let me know. Give me a week or two in advance, and we'll get you set up for some good demos. Youth man, one day I'll get Piper to fly down and visit my setup. Then he can determine if he can trust what I've been saying about JTR. Hey, youth man, I seen that as a clip to one of his videos. Youth man, but can we trust him? Oh, Mike already answered the question about the short throw lens. Just not to be confused with the shortest throw lens, because they even have another one where I think you can use the projector even closer than what I'm using. I'm at 9.5 feet, and I think you could even go closer. Piper don't know what he's missing. Hey, man, but hey, everybody's more than welcome to come hang out. We'll figure something out. Scott's a good thing you keep your house really cold. That Epson generates a ton of heat. That's actually a question that I've been getting a lot. And yes, I do keep it really cold in here, probably because I'm overweight and I like it. And I'm like a bear. And poor cat has to sleep with up two blankets and a heating blanket, and she shivers herself to sleep at night. Um, but yes, I do like it cold. So obviously for the event, air conditioning will be running all day because we'll have to keep the theater cool because yeah, it does put out a ton of heat. But after that, I will be going to a mini split in the theater, so the theater be on its own climate control, and that'll be to combat the heat coming out of the projector. So yeah, I don't have enough time to perform that whole setup before the event. Flights are cheap. Yeah, yeah, dude, they are. They're not terrible. I mean, a lot of people are flying in for a couple $100, grabbing a room for $100 a night. What part of Chicago? So I'm in a town called Bourbonnais. We are about an hour south. So what a lot of people do that come in from out of town is they fly into, O'Hare or Midway, rent a car, and then we're about an hour south of Midway, hour and a half south of O'Hare. But what I encourage anybody to do, not even just you, Piper, just anybody, is there's multiple people in the Bay Springs Us community and other communities that if you can set it up to maybe knock out a few systems, because there's other people with cool high performance systems or maybe different style setups, and you can knock out a few, nice systems while you're in town. So I encourage that. If you're planning on doing that, then in the base group, I would just put, hey, planning going out to Scott's event those days. Is anybody else open, for giving out demos that weekend? And you might be able to hook yourself up with stopping by a couple guys' houses. Just need a dark background for the white text font, and even the camera somewhere else. Yeah, that's Piper's video about JTR had me. Oh yeah, that's funny. Um, yeah, man, if you can make your way down by Michael's, he's got a lot of cool stuff to show you. If you can make your way up here by Chicago, man, I obviously I like showing off demos and doing all that stuff too. We really try to push those, just if you make it here, that it's cool that you get to meet and hang out with a lot of other enthusiasts. I've made a lot of lifelong friends. Even Kat has made a lot of friends through these events. She knows a lot of people by first name, or they come and they're excited to see her as well. And we try to make it very hospitable, and just everybody can enjoy the weekend when they're coming out. Yeah, Mark isn't too far away from Scott. Like Michael says, he has a killer JTR setup too. So if you're coming in the night before or staying like till the day after, Mark Giovanetti usually, is pretty accommodating. Not that I'm setting his house out there for everybody to stop by, but if you write him a message, he's usually really good about showing his system off too. And you can check out, he's got a full JTR setup as well. So if you're interested in hearing JTR, um, Tony Negretti also has a full JTR setup too, but it's much more difficult to get into his system because you got to fill out like a credit check, and he does a background check, and you got to give your fingerprints and footprints, and you got to do eye scans and all that stuff to even get into his theater. So just joking, but he doesn't host as much, but he's got a absolute killer system. Um, Best part of the community. I've had the privilege of meeting several guys in the chat. Yeah, the rectal scan. Yeah, Michael, I think you're the only one that did that. I think he was planning it as a joke and you really gave it to him. So that, I mean, that's cool. But you know what? We could trust you now. A retinal scan. Well, that's two very different scans, a rectal scan and a retinal scan. Um, All right, guys, man, that's too dang funny. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna let everybody go. I was only gonna come on here for like 10 or 15 minutes, and it's literally been an hour. I got to get my butt back to work because I got 80 people coming by here in 57 days, and I got a lot of crap to do. So, I love you guys. Thanks for liking, sharing, and all that other stuff. But more importantly, thanks for your time for hanging out. All right, guys, I'll see you guys later.